Just close your eyes. Know the peace within.
So, if I understood that right, I see now my key fault. Fault is speaking of an observer in the outside world, he always needs a standpoint where the observer is, and then there is the show. But if we are on the supreme level, it's a big mistake to think that I need any more a standpoint. I can't even have one. So I observe being everywhere. So there is no difference between a standpoint and that what is observed. There's only one. Do I understand that right?
The observer is beginningless and endless. The observer is infinite. The observer is never born. The observer is already the non-dual. The observer is the absolute. The observer is the ultimate. The observer is the supreme. And you are that just now and always. To know this eternal secret only, your consciousness, which is sleeping at the personality level, at the duality level, needs to wake up consciously inwardly. My whole teaching is only to wake up your consciousness, which is struggling by accepting the duality show to be real, to be real, to be real. The show just happens by the play of the elements, nowhere but in your consciousness. But where your consciousness is, it is already the source of awareness. Awareness observes in your consciousness, manifestation happens spontaneously by the elements. Awareness observes always, eternally. In your consciousness, the manifestation happens spontaneously. And whatever you call it as duality show, manifested show, object level show, world level show, cosmos level show, everything is just spontaneously happening in space at the duality level. And you are beyond space, beyond duality, beyond dream, beyond object, beyond movement, beyond sound, beyond form, beyond time. You always observe whether the time happens or not. You always observe whether the object happens or not. You always observe whether the sleep happens or not. You always observe whether the waking state happens or not. You always observe whether the dream happens or not. You always observe whether the dream happens or not. You always observe. To know this eternal secret only, your consciousness needs to wake up. Now your consciousness is sleeping at the personality level. Now I am waking up your consciousness. You are only consciousness. In your consciousness only everything is manifested. When you know that everything is just reflected out of your consciousness, you will not focus much attention on the duality show. By not knowing that your consciousness is the source of entire manifested duality show, it is separating itself from the object level show. Once your consciousness knows that it is already beyond duality and out of itself only, the entire manifestation happens spontaneously by the play of the elements. It remains least bothered about the dreamy show where there is no reality, and it starts focusing its attention inwardly beyond words through constant observation, free from identifications. free from the objects. So your consciousness, which is accepting the duality state to be real, needs to wake up consciously only when it settles inwardly. That's why here, throughout the session, you are closing your eyes and being with yourself. By being with yourself, you will come to know the light within, and by knowing the light, you come to know only out of light the entire manifestation is reflected. And there are no person here, and neither there is any reality here. And you are never born. What is born is only a dream state. And you never die. What dies is only a dream state. And who is the observer of all this moving? All this, the entire elemental show, the entire manifestation show, the entire duality show. Who can observe other than you? This you come to know only when your consciousness merges constantly in stillness and wakes up totally. Only when your consciousness wakes up totally, it knows the observer. Till then it is trapped by the observed duality show. That's why I say, as long as you are inside the dream, you give reality to the dream. Only when you wake up, you come to know. You only observe the dream and you are already free from the dream. Exactly here, your consciousness comes to know that it is already free from the dream and whatever that appears within dream is not real. Only when it wakes up totally, first your consciousness is conscious of itself. This is the beginning of wakefulness. By constantly settling in stillness, it wakes up totally. Only when your consciousness wakes up totally, it comes to know the observer is eternal, the observer is never born, and whatever that appeared as a form or object or whatever, that is only a dream state. Only when your consciousness wakes up, it realizes that the observer is never born, and whatever observed are only an unreal dream, and there's no reality. So your consciousness settling inwardly and remaining wakeful to realize the observer is most essential, for which I am helping here throughout my teachings to settle inwardly and to wake up totally to know the eternal observer beyond duality. You only observe and only you can observe. Wake up or no?